Oh yes, my fellow hunters, or more specifically, my fellow users of the greatest weapon in Monster Hunter. Don't agree that that's the case? Well, it's right there in the name. And with a brand new title update comes brand new monsters, and with brand new monsters comes brand new equipment, and with brand new equipment comes a brand new best greatsword build. And while I am happy that it has dramatically improved, I am also sad. You know why I am sad? Because essentially this update filled with 3 wonderful Elder Dragons can be summarized for us greatsword users like this.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Yeah, before we get onto the armor, of course, the first question is, what greatsword are we using? The previous choices was between Tigrex, Gosarag, and Naga. Now, Gosarag technically had a tiny edge, but Naga was way more consistent, but in either case, you had choices. Whereas now it is firmly and completely Naga Cougar. The ability to hit that sweet 100% affinity with maximum boost and still fit all the attack that you want is unbeatable. And I will show you just how unbeatable it is towards the end with some incredibly sad maths. So yeah, look forward to sad maths. But Naga Cougar is the way to go, and I really wanted the Elder Dragon weapons to do it. All of the other weapons are having loads of fun with their new options, their new Rare 7, or you know, people like Longsword, who get given this ridiculous Tigrex upgrade, but no, that's fine, I'm not bitter, but I am here to tell you how to be a hard hitter. So, we have Naga Cougar, and of course you want to give it the +8 attack ramp up, and then we have our brand new armor fueled by the brand new decorations. So this is how it shapes up, and as you can see, yeah, pretty damn a healthy chunk of skills here. But before we get into the nitty gritty, well, let's hit a Toadversary in the face with impunity. So before the, air quotes, best greatsword build in base Rise smacked this thing for 943 with a unpowered Rage Slash. So the new build hits the Toadversary for 943 with an unpowered Rage Slash. So you might be there thinking, what? What? Well, 2 things. This build should have 7 attack. I just have gotten incredibly unlucky with talismans and don't have ones that I imagine most of you watching this are going to be like, oh cool, yeah, I can do that, so yeah, go me. And 2, and chiefly, while they both hit for 943, that is on a crit. However, the previous best build's crit chance is 45%. So more than half the time, you'll actually only have been doing 758, which is obviously way less than the 943, which happens 100% of the time, thanks to us now having a 100% affinity build. And the power of 100% affinity with max boost cannot be underestimated. That's just a full permanent plus 40% damage. So yeah, we really have got an upgrade. So back to the build itself, the only new piece of equipment we even need to wear is the Kaiser Crown. And the Kaiser Crown is insane. A crit boost and 3 critical eye with a 1 slot to boot. That is 4 2 slots worth of skills on 1 piece of armor. And also it's 3 crit eye. The Naga weapon has 35% affinity, plus 50 from weakness exploit, that's 85, 3 crit eye, nicely 100. I mean, just thanks! Thank you so much, Teostra!
Oh my, I can't tell if I'm blushing or just heating up, but you're welcome.
And then 3 armor pieces that all are +2 attack with a 2 slot in Rathalos, Anja, and Hunters. So that's quite nice. And then we get to the talisman. Now what you need to make this set work is just your basic weakness exploit level 2 and a 2 slot, and I always want to have a build that works with that because it's the minimum of what everyone kind of has. However, it's not just that. Any single talisman that gives you two slots worth of skills that this build needs works here. So if your talisman was 2 attack, or if it was 2 Wex and a 1 slot, or if it was a crit boost and a single weakness exploit and no slots, you basically just want a talisman that can provide you with 2 through both the skills on it and slots of weakness exploit or boost or attack boost. I, for example, am using a 2 weakness exploit level 1 slot, which is essentially the same as a weakness exploit level 2 with a 2 slot, but I gain a little extra 1 slot out of it. So I am good on that front, and it means that decoration-wise, I personally need to slot in just 2 critical boost, 1 weakness exploit, and 1 focus to round out those skills. And yes, you do need focus. I won't get distracted with the maths on it, but seriously, you want it on your greatsword. This then rounds out with a very healthy roster of skills. Using the 1 slots left over to finish stun resistance and get speed sharpening means that the white on the Nagakuga is more than enough and will last you plenty. And of course, the stun resistance is not so much just nice, but required for a Rage Slash playstyle, so you don't get stunned out of Rage Slash, because that is very sad. So if you are lucky enough to have a talisman that can give you 3 of the weakness exploit, crit booster, attack, let's say you have a 2 weakness exploit and 2 slot, you firstborn child sacrificing son of a bitch, well, obviously put 1 more attack boost in and finish off attack boost. And then you are looking at something truly... I sadly don't have a talisman that can do that because, you know, I've only farmed 10 million of them! I imagine a lot of you are in the same situation. I shouldn't get too upset. But yeah, all you're looking for to improve this chiefly is a way to get that last attack boost, and that comes from a better talisman that gives you 3 2-slot equivalent worth of skills. So, to bust out the old maths, this build comes out at an effective raw of 393. That is pretty tasty, considering the previous best build came out at around the 365 or 370 mark, depending on which variation that you went. So that's a pretty hefty gain of over 20. It's not as much as the other weapons are gaining, because they've gotten much better options, but that's okay, we love Greatsword here! No, seriously, we do. I will never forsake you, oh mighty weapon. And for reference, if you do get that final rank of attack, it shoots up to 402 effective raw, which breaks that 400 barrier, which very much makes it competitive with what the other weapons are pulling off. So that's very, very nice. Now you might be thinking, really? Nagakuga is still, I'm not convinced. I like Goss, I like Tigrex. Yeah, me too. But look, here is this build with Tigrex, Goss, and Naga side by side. 393, Tigrex comes out at 379, and Goss 377, appreciably lower. Now let's pretend a world exists where we generate 5 extra 2 slots out of nowhere to add on to this build. That lets Nagakuga gain the final rank of attack and 4 out of 5 resentment, because that's the next best skill to put on. Now, resentment is only up, let's say, for half your attacks. So I've halved the effectiveness to 2.5 per rank instead of 5. Tigrex has gained the last 2 ranks of attack and some bonus critical eye up to 6. So that's, you know, nice. And Goss Harag, with that extra 5 2 slots out of nowhere, can go up to the maximum of attack and the maximum of critical eye. And you wanna know what happens then? Nagakuga, with half value resentment, ends up at 422, Tigrex ends up at 417, and Goss Harag ends up at 418. So to put this in the grand scheme perspective of things, in order for another greatsword to beat Nagakuga with how it currently stands and what's available in game from the current greatswords, you would need to have this armor set and somehow find 7 extra 2 slots worth of skills to put on it, and then and only then Nagakuga gets outclassed and you can swap to Goss. So you think about that. And even with the fact that we have a handicraft decoration now and Gosarag could go white with 5 handicraft, you can't fit enough skills after that 5 levels of handicraft to make it outdo Nagakuga. You could if you had these mythical extra slots, but that's just not happening. To put it into true perspective, if you had a talisman that was 2 handicraft, 3 attack, and a 3 slot, so we're talking a 1 in 400 billion or something ridiculous level talisman, that still would not be enough for Gosarag to overtake Nagakuga. So yeah, until some major changes, well, get used to swinging around your Nagakuga greatsword. And look, I don't mind it. It's not a bad looking greatsword at all. It's just kinda a little bit anticlimactic since we're still using the Naga weapons, which has dominated builds since the start of the game. But oh well, we still get to hit things very hard. In any case then guys, like if you enjoyed this, let me know what you think, and subscribe for more. I will see you soon. A goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.